Welcome back to another episode of MD After Dark. I'm joined back with Dre. The two of us are finally together for the first time since Wednesday
Damn.
because Thursday night I had to go to bed early for radio shift. Yeah, I know. But it was in the chat, and then Friday it was just me because Dre was out in Chicago
The
enjoying the Bulls
shameless
game.
plug in the last episode is crazy.
Yeah.
The shameless plug.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's crazy. But a shameless plug will be that Dre will be sending out the vlog very soon. I don't know when, but
It's not
maybe
really gonna be a
expected.
vlog, but it's gonna be like a recap of like my reactions of the certain plays of the games. So I will go to like the highlights online and I'll take the plays that I remember seeing very, not vividly, like I remember, and then I will like put record it on here and then I will like overlay it and then I'll talk over it, you know what I mean? It'll be a well
Yeah.
edited video. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and make sure you add the memes. People love memes.
I will, bro. Trust.
Pe- People love the memes. All right. So without further ado, let's get started. Of course, the first topic we're going to talk about is the Final Four. My goodness, the Final Four. Not disappointing. And of course, the first game we're going to talk about the game that just ended like 10 minutes ago at the time of this recording. Houston was down 14 at one point. They come back and defeat Duke 70-67. My goodness, they were down 45-59. So that means Houston, if my math is correct, they went on a 25-8 run, and then to make it 55-6 to win 70-67. They were down 55-64 as well. So they went on a 15-3 run as well. So my goodness, what a comeback win, what a resilient win, a gritty and tough win for Houston. My goodness, and Duke fans all across the nation are now in shambles, including my RA.
Good.
I hope she's not. I hope she's
Good.
not out. I hope she's not walking around the halls right now. But anyways, hand on my RA if you're watching this. Sorry, but anyways, we all been through it. This is what you get for Duke beating Wisconsin in 2015 national title. But anyways, let's get to the stats here. Houston actually shot 10 for 22 for the 3-point line, which is a 45.5%. Houston shot 23 for 61 for the field. That's a 37.7%. So Houston shot a better percentage from three than from the field itself. Tell me how that makes sense. And then Duke shot 21 for 53 from the field, 39.6% clip, and then 7 for 17, 41.2% from three. So overall, both teams shot good, but they didn't attempt a lot of shots, or at least 3-point attempts. Or actually, it was average, but yeah, the main story. And then leading the way for Houston was who else but LJ Cryer. LJ Cryer was magnificent today.
Two clutch free
26,
throws.
yes, 2 clutch free throws at the end. He had 26 points, 5 assists, 8 for 14 from the field, 6 for 9 for the 3-point line, and 4 for 6 from the free throw line, including, as Drake said, those 2 clutch free throws. And then Emmanuel Sharp, he had some clutch moments in this one too. He had 16 points. He shot 4 for 13 for the field, not great, but 3 for 7 for the 3-point line, so that's pretty good. And then also, Jawan Roberts. Boy, he had the 2 go ahead free throws towards the end. Yeah, he had 11 points. 11 points and 12 rebounds. Also had 5 assists. 4 for 11 from the field, not the greatest. Not the greatest night, but that double-double and the impact that he had on this game, including the free throws, to put Houston up towards the end was huge. He also shot 3 for 4 for the free throw line. And then taking a look at Duke, of course, they're led by Cooper Flagg with 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. But Cooper Flagg did miss Did miss the go-ahead jumper towards the end, the fader. Did miss that. Had an opportunity to put them up one, but he missed it. Give credit to Houston's defense there. 8 for 19 for the field, 3 for 4 for the three-point line. He did shoot 8 for 8 for the free throw line. That's
Free
a pretty
throw
good clip
murder.
there. And then Con Knipple. He had 16 points today. There was a lot of moments where he had some good spot up 3-point shooting, like moving off the ball. And overall, he had a good night tonight. 5 for 9 for the field, 3 for 5 for 3-point line, and 3 for 3 for the free throw line. So yeah, that was basically mainly the scores for Duke. So Dre, your reactions to Houston pulling off this come from behind win against Duke?
I'm very happy. I mean, I wanted Houston to win. I had all the faith in the world that Duke was going to win, but I wanted Houston to win, and it happened. I saw they were down like 14 or whatever you said it was. I'm like, it's over. And then with like a minute 40 left, they were down by like 8 or 9, and they came back and they won. And I was just like, what's the meme? It's like, oh, absolute cinema. You know that meme where the
Yeah.
guy's like holding up his hands and it has, yeah, you know what I'm, yeah, exactly. He got it exactly right. That's what that game was. It was absolute cinema. And I think even though Auburn lost, I wanted Auburn to win. I think this national championship will be a really fun one, especially with how Walter Clayton has been playing. He's gonna ball up. What was that? I don't know if that was just my ear or what. But LJ Cryer is gonna do amazing. But I think it's gonna be a fun. It is two teams that we really haven't seen in the national championship in a couple of years. Florida hasn't really been there since what, like 20.
Back in the 2000s,
Yeah,
I
and
think it was
Houston's been in the national championship recently, not super recent, but more recent than Florida, right? Here, I'll just look it up.
um they have been in the Final Four, at least I know that. But national championship, I'm not sure. But maybe the last time, maybe it could have been the Phi Slamma Jamma, maybe.
Yeah, never mind. Houston made it in 1983 and 1984,
Yeah, that was Phi
and
Slamma Jamma era.
they lost to both.
Yeah, because 1983, yeah, those teams had Hakeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler, and them guys, and they lost to NC State in the national championship. NC State, one of the great Cinderella stories, led by head coach Jim Valvano. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's right, because so for Florida, they were led by Billy Donovan, the Bulls coach, and they had Joakim Noah. That's okay.
yeah,
Now it's all coming together. So yeah, two teams that haven't.
yeah, that
Go
was
on.
back in the 2000s. Yeah,
I know.
that Florida, yeah. But like you said, Dre, now you continue, Dre.
Now that these are two teams that we haven't seen in the national championship for a pretty long time. It's not like Duke, North Carolina, Villanova. I don't know. I have a Villanova shirt for some reason. But yeah, and another thing, I feel like, what's their name? Cooper Flagg. I feel like he's gonna go back to Duke now. He didn't even make
Really?
it. He didn't even make it to the national championship. I would not be surprised if we got a notification this week. Cooper Flagg does not declare or declares for the NBA draft, and then a week later, Cooper Flagg decommits from the NBA draft, stays with Duke for 2025-2026 season. And then he'll go get drafted number one overall, and then Dylan Harper will get drafted number one overall this year.
That's interesting. My thing that's going to determine that is how much NIL money is Duke going to offer, or how much NIL money is he going to get.
To
I
keep
think
Cooper
that
Flagg a lot.
yes, but that's going to be the determinant factor. How much NIL money will Cooper Flag get offered? I think that's probably what's going to come down to at the end of the day. But anyways, Houston defeated Duke, absolute cinema. And then the other Final Four game was also absolute cinema.
Mm-hmm.
Florida defeated Auburn 79-73. We talked about Florida making the national championship. Florida was actually trailing in this game as well. They were down by 8 at half, and then just had that terrific second half, outscoring Auburn 41-27 in that second half. My goodness, of course, led by Walton Clayton Jr. I was actually funny story. So at halftime I was leaning for Janesville again. Auburn was up 46-38. And I was just driving in my car, I was listening to the Brewers on the way there. And then all of a sudden I turned back the game and Florida was winning. I was like, what? Like, how? But, I mean, it wasn't that big, like, mind-blowing. It was just like, how did Florida have the lead now? But, yeah, that offense definitely talks, for sure. Look at that stats. I mean, Florida, they didn't really shoot that great. I mean, field goal percentage, 25 for 53, 47.2. That's pretty good. Look at the 3-point, 8 for 21, 38.1. That's also pretty solid. But then you look at Auburn, 25 for 57, 43.9% field goal. That's pretty good. But then 7 for 25, 28%. Auburn kind of struggled from the 3-point line today. And then, of course, leading the way for Florida, you guessed it, probably the best player in the tournament by far, in my eyes, and the most clutchest by far, Walter Clayton Jr. Get used to that name. 34 points. Yeah, 34 points for Clayton Jr. 11 for 18 for the field, 5 for 8 for the 3-point line, and 7 for 7 for the free throw line. So, just clutch after clutch after clutch performances for Walter Clayton Jr. And then Elijah Martin recorded 17 points for Florida, 6 for 10 for the field. Walter Clayton Jr. was that at the end?
No, Elijah Martin's. He stole the ball. He stole the ball, and then he dunked on Pettiford, and I don't think it was Baker Mazzara, but it was another guard. He went up with him, and he cocked it back. It was like a side dunk, and he just slammed it. It was nuts. I mean, you'd have to look it up. I can't really display it very well, but most people, if they watch this and if they watch the game, will know what I'm talking about.
Oh, here you go. I'm pulling up the video. I think this was before the second half where I was on my way to Janesville.
No, this was at the end of the game.
Oh. I think I had the game on as well while I was driving. I might have seen this. Alright, I got the video pulled up here. I'm gonna get a reaction. Damn! Yeah. Yeah. Wow, Elijah Martin. That was with 5 minutes left, so I was still watching the Brewers at that time. Yeah, call me a casual, but whatever. But yeah, Elijah Martin. Yeah, that was a dunk. Wow. He was catching bodies. Definitely say that. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, with that dunk, he also had 6 for 10 from the field, 2 for 3 from the 3-point line, 3 for 3 for the free throw line as well. And then off the bench, Thomas Haw had 12 points. He struggled from the 3-point line today, 1 for 4, but 4 for 7 for the field, 3 for 7 for the free throw line. He struggled, but was still able to get 12 points. And then, anyways, oh yeah, something to notice about Alex Condon. He struggled today. He had 1 point, even though, 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 1 for 3. His only point came 1 for 3 from the free throw line. But anyways, Condon played well defensively. That basically, Condon, even though he only had 1 point today, he still found a way to make an impact, and that's huge. But anyways, leading the way for Auburn was Chad Baker Mazzara, 18 points, 6 for 10 for the field, 4 for 7 for the 3-point line, and 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Funny enough, he did not get a technical foul today. So Auburn, how did you lose this game? That's a question to ask. And then John I. Broome had 15 points. Yeah, that's
rough.
Not the greatest thing. Yeah, that's rough for his standards. Alex Condon did a great job defending him today. Yeah, Broome made a turnaround jumper to start the game, but otherwise not much. 6 for 14 from the field, 0 for 2 from the free throw line, or 3-point line, 3 for 7 for the free throw line. Oof. Yeah, not good for John Broome. And then Denver Jones had 10 points. He struggled from the field, 3 for 9, from the field, 1 for 5 for the 3-point line, 3 for 5 for the free throw line. Yeah. Oops. And then Miles Kelly, he had 8 points today, 3 for 10 for the field, 2 for 7 for the 3-point line. Another guy that struggled. And then also a guy that struggled, Tahad Pettiford, 1 for 6 from the field, 0 for 4 from the 3-point line. He did go 5 for 5 for the free throw line, but 0 for 4 from the 3-point line. Oh, yeah, rough shooting day for Auburn. So, Dre, your thoughts about Florida knocking off the number 1 overall seed, Auburn?
I mean, rough day. I mean, I think Pettiford will come back for another year. I'm not certain. He might transfer. You never know. But I mean, he is. I mean, he's from there, so I don't think he will. But Johnny Broom, he'll probably be a first round pick. Um, Chad Baker Mazzara, who will probably find himself on an NBA team's roster just because of how well he could shoot. And then Florida, I mean, you got some young guys that are out there starting still, and you're about to win a national championship possibly. But then you lose Walter Clayton, and what's the direction next year? You know what I mean? Walter Clayton has almost guaranteed himself to be a first round pick now after how he's been playing against these top teams, at least in my opinion. But Florida, you get a win, you change your whole way of doing everything, but then you lose, and you might have dudes transferring out. You never know. But you can say that about everybody, I guess. But I don't know. That's just how I look at it. Auburn, they don't really have a lot because all their good players are seniors. They have underclassmen that have to step up either way. And then for Florida, they have only one upperclassman, or I guess they have two. They have, um, I don't know, I don't remember his name, but other than Walter Clayton, but then they might have dudes transferring out if they don't get a win.
So you're saying that for Auburn, this was the year to do something.
Yeah, I'm also saying that for Florida too. I'm also saying that obviously it's a must win for both teams, but for Florida, it's a more of a must win just for the fact that Auburn was in a better spot, and then who's the other team? Houston. All of their best players are seniors as well, so if they lose, oh well, they have to leave anyways. But obviously, it's a must win.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. There's no loyalty in college basketball or in college sports in general. There's just no loyalty, so you never know what's gonna happen with these guys. But anyways, Florida and Houston, the national championship. Dre, what are you looking forward to in that matchup?
Walter Clayton and L.J. Cryer, um, and then you have obviously you have Austin Martin or whatever his name is, and then I don't remember the third guy's name. He's a senior.
Richard?
Yeah, Will Richard, and I mean, who knows how he'll do? He's on and off. But then I think it's all just about not Walter Clayton. Well, technically, yeah, Walter Clayton, L.J. Cryer. Whoever outperforms who will probably win that game. If they shut down Walter Clayton, Houston will win. If they shut down L.J. Cryer, Florida will win.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this matchup. I mean, both teams are really good defensively, especially Houston. Houston's the best defensive team in the country. But then you also got Florida's offense, who has more explosive offenses in the league, and Houston can score too. But you look at this. Well, I'm looking forward to Walter Clayton Jr. versus that Houston defense. That's the matchup I'm looking forward to. If the game is close, when the game's on the line, will Clayton Jr. keep having that success against the top defense in the country? That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm hoping the national championship. I bet the national championship will just be as cinema as the Final Four matchups. I mean, this is just my opinion. This has been a great Final Four, and they definitely saved. I know it's been a disappointing March Madness, but this Final Four has definitely delivered so far. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just been a great Final Four so far. So yeah, Florida and Houston will meet up Monday. I believe that will be at 8 o'clock. I'm pretty sure. I think. Um,
8:30.
or 750. Excuse me, 750.
Or whatever.
That would be. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then also other college basketball action. We had college basketball crown today.
Villanova
Nebraska.
lost.
Yeah, UCF defeated Villanova in overtime, 104-98. Leading the way for UCF was Darius Johnson. He had 42 points and 7 assists. Wow. And then leading the way for Villanova was Wuka
Luga.
Poplar. He had 32 points and 11 rebounds. And then Nebraska defeated Boise State, 79-69. Leading the way for Nebraska was Jawan Gary. He had 21 points, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks. And leading the way for Boise
Tyson
State was
Degenhart.
Tyson Degenhart. Yeah, 26 points and 8 rebounds. So the college basketball crown championship will be tomorrow at 4:30 on Fox. That's between Nebraska and UCF. So yeah, just to say, college basketball crown happened, and the college basketball crown championship game will be happening tomorrow. So if you really want an appetizer for the national championship, I highly suggest watching the college basketball crown. Who knows, this might be your 69th place game, because you know how much of a big of a reward being 69th is.
Yeah, but that's a funny number though. Also, just so
Yeah.
everybody knows, Eric Dixon 1 for 11 from 3 today. He balled out.
Oofda.
Throws over
Yeah.
43.
Yeah. I think you'll be good with NBA talent, though. Do you think?
Yeah. He's tall too. Like when you shoot 11 threes, you have to be that cold to only make one.
Yeah. Not a good day for Dixon, but good day for UCF. Darius Johnson. My goodness. But
How many?
anyways, yeah, go ahead.
How many did it? Jordan Ivy. Jordan Ivy. Is it Jordan Ivy Curry?
Yeah.
Didn't he have like almost 20 points off the bench for UCF?
Let's see here. Yeah, 18. He had 18 off the
That's what I
bench
thought.
today.
And
Four
then
for
who
six
was
in the
the other
free.
leading scorer? Poplar had 32, you said? Who was the other one for Villanova?
Eric Dixon,
How many did he have?
29.
On 1 of 11 from 3?
Yeah, because he shot 10 for 12 from the free throw line.
Okay. And didn't he make
And
like 6 layups or something?
9 for 24 from the field.
God damn. Oh, man. You know what? Let's just go to the NBA after that one. Also, my prediction, Connor Essegian is dropping 30 tomorrow.
Oh my god.
Just so
If that
Michael can get pissed off.
Yeah, salt. Yeah, so I can be salty tomorrow. Great.
All right. Michael, shall we move to the NBA now?
Yes.
Only 5 games today, so very limited slate. Our first game, the New York Knicks beat the Atlanta Hawks 121-105. The Knicks were led by Karl-Anthony Towns with a double-double, 30 and 11. Mikal Bridges had 20. OG Anunoby with 24. Josh Hart was 1 rebound away from a triple-double. 16, 11 assists, 9 rebounds. And then DeLon Wright and Landry Shamet both chipped in with double digits. Then for the Hawks, they struggled all around. They had nobody above 20 points. But Karis LeVert and Terrence Mann both had 14. And then Trae Young led the way with 16. And then Dyson Daniels and Zachary Risache with 12. And Georges Niang with 13. Overall, the Knicks shot 53% from the field to the 46% of the Hawks. The Knicks shot 51.7% from 3 to the 31% of the Hawks. I mean, the Hawks just couldn't shoot at all. Knicks were up 84% from the free throw line to the 75% of the Hawks. Both had 38 rebounds, and the Hawks had 2 more turnovers. So, yeah. Also, that reminds me, Michael, I watched the podcast from last night. You said, how did the Bulls win with like 19 or 17 turnovers and the Trailblazers only had 5? Because the Trailblazers had 1 turnover in the first half, and then the Bulls forced really clutch turnovers, like 2 to 3 of them in the fourth quarter. And also, the Trailblazers couldn't make a shot. The Bulls out-rebounded them by like 10. But we'll get to that when I post my vlog or like recap. So yeah, our next game, The Timberwolves defeat the 76ers to extend their losing streak to 11. The Timberwolves were led by Rudy Gobert with 23 and 19, Anthony Edwards with 37, and then Julius Randle with 15, and Dante DiVincenzo returning from suspension with 13. The 76ers were led by Quentin Grimes with 28 points, Lonnie Walker with 18, Jared Butler with 16, and Yershon Yabusele with 19. Overall, the Timberwolves shot 50% to the 48% of the 76ers. 76ers actually shot better from the three, 34 to 32%, and then horrible free throw shooting. Both teams shot below 75%. And then overall, the Timberwolves dominated the rebounds, 47 to 34. But Timberwolves, they out-rebounded them by so much, they had 7 more turnovers, 15 to 8, and they still won by 5. I guess that's why the 76ers were still in the game, though. And then a good thing for us, Michael, the Memphis Grizzlies get a win, 109 to 103 over the Detroit Pistons. The Grizzlies were led by Desmond Bane with 38 points and 7 rebounds. And then Jaren Jackson with a double-double, 27 and 11 rebounds. And then Scottie Pippen Jr., not the actual Scottie Pippen, with 15. The Pistons were led by Cade Cunningham with 25, Ausar Thompson with 18 points, 11 rebounds, Isaiah Stewart with 16, returning from suspension. Uh-oh. Yo, chat.
Alright, you're good now.
Hello. Okay, and then Malik Beasley had 11. Jalen Duren did not play. So, bro, is my internet good now?
Yeah. I hear you. Crystal clear.
Yeah, I don't hear you crystal clear, buddy.
Oh no.
It's just my internet, bro.
Might be.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Grizzlies shot 41.5% to the 38.5% of the Pistons. And then both teams shot below 30% from three. I'm not even going to go over that. And then the Grizzlies shot 76% to the 78% from the free throw line of the Pistons. Holy cow. Grizzlies had 64 rebounds to the 44 of the Pistons. And that's, again, why the Grizzlies won the game. 14 turnovers to the 6 of the Pistons, and they still won because they out-rebounded them by 20. They had 17 offensive rebounds. So, yeah. And then our final non-active game, the Milwaukee Bucks get a win over the Miami Heat in overtime, 121 to 115. Giannis, triple-double, 36, 15
Yes.
rebounds, 10 assists. Brook Lopez with 17. Kevin Porter Jr., 2 assists away from a triple-double, 24 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, and then A.J. Green had 10. The Heat were led by Alec Burks with 24, Bam Adebayo with a double-double, 31 and 12, and then Davion Mitchell had 20, and Kyle Anderson with a double-double, 12 points, 14 rebounds. Kel'el Ware struggled. He was in foul trouble, kind of why they probably lost, because they're one of their best rebounders. And then I will just tell you right away, the Heat still won the rebounding battle, 52 to 47. The Bucks shot 51% to the 42% of the Heat. The Heat shot 102 shots, and then the Bucks shot 33% from three to the 32% of the Heat. Heat did shoot better from the free throw line, 87% to 79%, and then the Bucks had one less turnover, 10 to 9. So yeah, Michael, I will let you off because that is all the NBA has to offer. So you can go to the NHL. And I will be right back, as I have to go potty.
Alrighty. So yeah, so the only active NBA game left. Oh, there goes the. Yeah, the Clippers are up on the Mavericks, 114 to 84 with 8 minutes and 47 seconds left there. So yeah, kind of a BTA going on. But anyways, there a lot of busy NHL action today. Let's get straight to it. So the Devils, they defeated the Rangers 4-0 today. I got the courage to watch this game, or I had the privilege to watch this game. It was on ABC, and this was a hockey game for sure. This was definitely a hockey game. So, anyways, the Devils were led by Jesper Bratt, who had a goal and assist. And I gotta say, my goodness, the second goal of the game, Luke Hughes actually had an actual dime to Jesper Bratt, and Bratt was able to sneak it in there. And boy, that was a beautiful goal by Jesper Bratt. Wow. Yeah, that was a great goal. Oh yeah, and also Timo Meyer had 2 goals for himself as well. Actually, he led the way, but anyways, and then Nico Hisshire had a goal and 2 assists for the Devils as well. And then also assisting was Dawson Mercer, Seamus Casey, Brendan Dillon, and Luke Hughes. And then in net today, Jacob Markstrom was absolutely terrific. 26 saves, 26 save attempts, and a shutout performance, of course, the save percentage being 1. But anyways, yeah, the Rangers, they just look flat today. Yeah, especially that first period. Like, they only put up like 3 shots in the first period. Then they did better that second half, but then the Devils just started scoring, and then eventually things just got out of hand. But anyways, I guess leading the way in block shots was Condre Miller and Braden Schneider, since the Rangers didn't score anything. And then today, Igor Shesterkin. Yeah, it was a rough day for Igor. 12 saves, 15 save attempts, allowing 3 goals, 800 save percentage. Yeah, not your typical Igor performance. I mean, not really all of his fault. I mean, I just saw that the whole Rangers team had no energy at all. The Devils just wanted it more today. That's just my thoughts about that. And then the Senators shut out the Panthers 3-0. The Senators scoring today for leading the way was Jake Sanderson, a goal and assist. He continues to be one of the best, or be one of the best scoring defensemen in the NHL. One of the best out there. I don't think he's better than Cale Makar yet in that category, but he's kind of making a name for himself. And then also scoring goals for the Senators was Drake Batherson and Matthew Highmore. And then assisting was Dylan Cousins, Shane Pinto, and Thomas Chabot, something like that. And that today, my goodness, Anton Forsberg for the Senators. Terrific. 40 saves, 40 save attempts, in a shutout performance with a 1 save percentage. My goodness, an absolute masterclass of a performance from Anton Forsberg. That's got to be one of the best goalie statistics that I've seen in a while. 40 saves and 40 save attempts. My goodness. And then the Panthers, they didn't score any goals, of course. And then leading the way for block shots was Jacob Megna. And then Sergei Bobrovsky did not have a Sergei Bobrovsky day today. He had 19 saves, 21 save attempts, allowing 2 goals with a 905 save percentage. I mean, not the worst, but you definitely see Bobrovsky play better. Anyway, so yeah, the Senators did defeat the Panthers 3-0, recapping there. And then another game I watched, this game was also on ABC. The Penguins defeated the Stars 5-3. Despite Evgeny Dadonov's hat trick, the Stars fall short. And I just want to say thank you so much, Penguins, as a Minnesota Wild fan. But anyways, Sidney Crosby had a hat trick of his own. He had 3 goals and had an assist as well. I mean, everyone's talking about Alex Ovechkin, but Sidney Crosby is definitely still performing at an old age. How about that? Good for Sid the Kid. And then Blake Lizotte and Brian Rust were the other 2 Pens that scored goals. And then assisting was Dayton Heinen, Evgeny Malkin, Rutger McGroarty, and Chris Letang and Connor Timmins. And that today was Tristan Jarry. He had 21 saves on 24 save attempts, allowing 3 goals, having an 875 save percentage. Not the greatest day, but again, the offense carried him today. And looking at the Stars, of course, the only guy that scored, Evgeny Dadonov. Of course, he had that hat trick. And I thought when Dadonov had that hat trick, the Stars would definitely win this one. But then the Penguins, they tied it. They tied it up at 3. And then, of course, they went on to score another one, and then an empty netter. So, yeah, I was kind of shocked at that. And then assisting on the Dadonov goals were Oscar Back, Matt Duchene, Liam Bichel, Matt Dumba, Thomas Harley, and Ilya Lubushkin. And then in net today for the Stars was Casey DeSmith. He had 35 saves out of 39 save attempts, allowing 4 goals with an .897 save percentage. Not the greatest day for DeSmith. But anyways, the Penguins get a huge win in Dallas, 5-3 on national television too. And then the Canucks defeated the Ducks today. Canucks, Ducks, they rhyme. Yeah, so the Canucks won this one 6-2. Leading the way for the Canucks today was Brock Boeser. He had a goal and assist. And then also scoring goals for the Canucks was Connor Garland, Dakota Joshua, Max Sasson, Philip Roenick, and Elias Pettersson. And then assisting today, Quinn Hughes had 2 assists today. Quinn Hughes continues to have a good season for the Canucks. And then Teddy Bluger, Linus Carlson, Jonathan Lekkerimäki, Kiefer Sherwood, Derek Forbort, and Marcus Pettersson also scored goals for the Canucks. And then in that today, Thatcher Demko had a solid day today, 30 saves out of 32 saves attempts, allowing 2 goals with a .938 save percentage. So yeah, Thatcher Demko is back to doing Thatcher Demko things, and I think the Canucks fans are very happy about that. And then scoring goals today for the Ducks were Troy Terry and Trevor Zegras, having a goal apiece. And then assisting was Mason McTavish, Frank Vetrano, Radko Gudas, and Pavel Mityukov. Pavel Mityukov. And then in that today for Lucas Dostal. Yeah, Dostal struggled. 20 saves, 26 save attempts, allowing 6 goals, .769 save percentage. Lucas Dostal has been good all year long, but he has been struggling as of late. But yeah, the Canucks defeat the Ducks once again, 6-2. And then the Kings, they shut out the Oilers 3-0. This was a big win for the Kings. They create separation for the Oilers. And most importantly, they're chasing after the Golden Knights right now, who are currently playing the Flames. It's decided to. I actually got that game on my TV right now.
Bro, how do you have that game on?
Oh, I have ESPN Plus.
Tell me, wait, you're talking about the Golden Knights game, right? Bro, I can't hear you, chat.
Yeah.
Yo, my internet's so bad. Maybe it's just a combination of both. I have no idea.
Yeah, could be. But anyways, scoring goals today for the Kings was Kevin Fiala, Andrei Kuzmenko, and Trevor Lewis. And then assisting on those goals were Adrian Kempe, Alex Lafreniere, and Drew Doughty, and Jordan Spence. And then in net today for the Kings, Darcy Kemper. Masterpiece of a performance. 27 saves out of 27 save attempts in a shutout with a 1 save percentage. And then Oilers not score at all, so leading the way in block shots were Zach Hyman and Brett Kulak. And then in net today for the Oilers was Calvin Pickard. He had a good day today. He had 26 saves out of 28 save attempts, allowing 2 goals with a .929 save percentage. Despite Calvin Pickard having a good day, he had a really good day, but the offense was just not there to support him today, sadly, for the Oilers. But the Kings, my goodness, they're trying to do the best they can to avoid the Oilers in the first round again, because we all know what happened in previous years when those two met. Oilers in 5. All right. Anyways, the Bruins. Wow, this was an upset. They defeated the Hurricanes today, 5-1. How about this? Leading the way for the Bruins was David Pastrnak. He had a hat trick today. 3 goals and 2 assists. A total of 5 points today. Masterclass performance for Pasti. And then also, Morgan Geekie had a goal and 4 assists as well. He had 5 points as well. Geekie put up a great performance. And then Elias Lindholm had a goal and 2 assists as well. Lindholm having a good game there. And then also recording assists today were Mason Lohrei and Nikita Zadorov. And then in net today, Jeremy Swayman. he had a really good day today. 39 saves out of 40 save attempts, allowing a goal with a 975 save percentage. And then scoring the only goal today for the Canes was Justin Robidas, and then assisting on that was Shane Gostisbehere and Scott Morrow. And then in that today for the Canes was Frederick Anderson. He struggled today. 21 saves out of 26 save attempts, allowing 5 goals with an 808 save percentage. So yeah, the Bruins get a big win over the Hurricanes today, 5-1. And then the Sabres defeated the Lightning 3-2 in a shootout. The Sabres scoring goals today were Tage Thompson and Jason Zucker. And then assisting was Zach Benson, Alex Tuck, and Rasmus Dahlin. And then in net today for the Sabres was James Reimer. He had a pretty good day today. 22 saves out of 24 save attempts, allowing 2 goals with a 917 save percentage. And then for the Lightning today, scoring goals was Gage Goncalves and Braden Point. And then assisting for the Lightning was Oliver Bjorkstrand, Yanni Gourde, Nikita Kucherov. And then in net today for the Lightning was Jonas Johansson. He had 36 saves, 38 save attempts, allowing 2 goals with a 947 save percentage. So not a bad day for Johansson, but offense just wasn't there, and the Lightning couldn't win it in a shootout. But the Sabres, they get a big win over the Lightning to keep their slim playoff hopes alive in the shootout fashion. And then the Maple Leafs, they shut out the Blue Jackets today, 5-0. The Blue Jackets were led by William Nylander and Nicholas Robertson, who each had 2 goals apiece. Austin Matthews also recorded a goal and assist as well. And then also assisting for the Maple Leafs was Morgan Riley, who had 2 assists on the day. And Max Domi, Pontus Holmberg, Matthew Nice, Mitch Marner, and Brandon Carlo all had 1 assist apiece. And in that today, Anthony Stolarz with a beautiful performance. 27 saves out of 27 save attempts in a shutout with a 1 save percentage. And then leading the way for block shots for the Blue Jackets was Dante Fabro. And then in net today for the Blue Jackets was Elvis Merzlikins, who did not have a good day at all. 22 saves out of 27 save attempts, allowing 5 goals with an 815 save percentage. That one's rough, but Maple Leafs shut out the Blue Jackets once again, 5-0 there. And the Canadiens, I have a happy floor mate somewhere as the Canadiens just continue to win hockey games. They defeat the Flyers today 3-2. Canadiens were basically down for basically the entire game, but then they eventually found ways to win. The Canadiens were led by Brendan Gallagher and Lane Hudson, who had a goal apiece, and then Nick Suzuki had a goal and assist today, basically headlining the Canadiens today. And then assisting was Christian Dvorak, Jake Evans, and Caden Gooley. And then in that today for the Canadiens was Sam Montembeault. 21 saves out of 23 save attempts, allowing 2 goals with a 913 save percentage. So a pretty good day for Montembeault. And then scoring goals today for the Flyers was Ryan Poehling, who had a goal and assist, and Tyson Forrester. And then assisting for the Flyers was Travis Konechny and Jacob Pelletier and Cam York. And then in net today for the Flyers was Samuel Urson, who had 23 saves out of 26 save attempts, allowing 3 goals with an 885 save percentage. So again, another big win for the Canadiens as they beat the Flyers 3-2. And when the St. Louis Blues defeat the Colorado Avalanche today 5-4. Yawn. And now the Wild are now officially 4 games behind the Blues. Great. The Blues win their 12th straight. Yeah, the Blues just remain red hot. And I don't know if the Wild are going to catch them anytime soon because the Blues just keep on winning. The Blues were led by Zach Bolduc, who had 2 goals today, and then Pavel Buchnevich, Jake Neighbors, Robert also recorded goals, and Robert Thomas had a goal and 3 assists. So Robert Thomas just continues to impress with this Blues team. And then assisting today for the Blues was Cam Fowler. He had 3 assists today. And also assisting was Jimmy Snuggerud. And that's pretty much for the Blues. And then in net today, Jordan Binnington, 35 saves out of 39 save attempts, allowing 4 goals with an .897 save percentage. So not the greatest save for Binnington, but the offense was there to support him. And then the Avalanche scoring goals for them were Ross Colton, Nathan McKinnon, Miles Wood, and Sam Malinsky. And then assisting today for the Avs were Charlie Coyle, Brock Nelson, Logan O'Connor, Cale Makar, and Devin Tays. And then in net today for the Avs was Mackenzie Blackwood, 17 saves out of 21 save attempts, allowing 4 goals with an .810 save percentage. So Blackwood struggled today. And the Blues win their 12th straight, defeating the Avalanche 5-4. And then the Utah Hockey Club defeated the Jets, the Winnipeg Jets, that is, 4-1. The Hockey Club scoring goals for them today were Kevin Stenlund, who had a goal and assist. Clayton Keller and Barrett Hayton also had a goal and assist. And then Nick Jugstad also scored a goal for the Hockey Club. And then assisting for the Hockey Club was Nick Schmaltz, Ali Mata, John Marino, and Mikhail Sergachev. And then in net today for the Hockey Club was Karel Vejmelka. Vejmelka has been definitely improved so far. He had 32 saves out of 33 save attempts, allowing a goal with a .970 save percentage. So a great day for Vejmelka in net. And then scoring the lone goal today for the Jets was Mark Schieffel having the goal. And that was an unassisted goal as well. But boy, Connor Hellebuyck was not himself today. 24 saves, 27 save attempts, allowing 3 goals with an .889 save percentage as the Utah Hockey Club defeat the Winnipeg Jets once again 4-1. And then a game that just finished up here, the Kraken just defeated the Sharks 5-1. The Seattle Kraken were led by Jaron McCann, who had 2 goals and assists. Andre Burakovsky had a goal and assist as well. Other scoring goals for the Kraken was Jaden Schwartz and Chandler Stevenson. And assisting for the Kraken was Capo Caco, Shane Wright, Adam Larson, and Joshua Mahura. Yeah, I see that face. Yeah, and then in net today for the Kraken was Joey Decord, who had another phenomenal performance. 23 saves out of 24 save attempts, allowing a goal with a .958 save percentage. And then for the Sharks, their only goal scorer today for the Sharks was Will Smith. And assisting on that goal was Macklin Celebrini and Tyler Toffoli. And then in net today, where do I begin? Alexander Georgiev struggled mightily. It was terrible. 7 saves out of 11 save attempts, allowing 4 goals, having a .636 save percentage. It was so bad today that Georgy Romanov had to come in relief, and he allowed he had 10 saves, 11 save attempts, allowing 1 goal with a .909 save percentage, so he did better. But Georgiev, another bad performance there. But the Kraken defeat the Sharks 5-1, and right now in the third period with 1:29 remaining, the Golden Knights and Flames are tied at 2. Give you an update when that game comes to a close. That's all for the NHL action right now. So, Dre, we actually got an update from the Clippers and Mavs game. Did you go through the Mavericks and Clippers game yet?
I have not. So, our final, BTA. Clippers get a win, 133-103. Clippers were led by Kawhi Leonard and James Harden, who both had 29 points. James Harden had 14 assists. Ivica Zubac had 25 points and 10 rebounds, a double-double. And a bunch of other guys chipped in. Nobody else had double digits. Then for the Mavericks, they were led by Anthony Davis with 27 points. Klay Thompson had 14. P.J. Washington had 14. And Spencer Dinwiddie had 10 assists. But then an underrated player, Kai Jones, I love him. I like that. He had 18 points, 8 rebounds, so almost a double-double. And then the Clippers just shot better in every aspect of the game, 55.8% from the field, 39% from three, and 80% from the free throw line. Mavericks shot worse in every aspect. And the Clippers had 7 turnovers to the 15 of the Mavericks and had 2 more rebounds. So yeah, name of the game of that one: don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, that's basically it for the NBA and NHL action, except for this Golden Knights and Flames game. Looks like we're going to overtime in that one. So, meanwhile, that one, oh, wait. Oh, Flames player just shot it, but the Golden Knights saved it. So, yeah, now we're going to overtime. So, Dre, do you want to lead us into MLB action now from today?
I sure will. So yeah, the Detroit Tigers beat the Chicago White Sox 7-2. Kerry Carpenter, he had 2 home runs yesterday and another one today. And then Spencer Torkelson, your guy, 2 days in a row with a home run. Then Riley
Yes.
Green, Andy Ibanez, and Trey Sweeney all chipped in RBIs. And Reese Olson went 6 innings with 2 earned runs and 5 strikeouts. He would get the win. The bullpen gave up no runs. And then for the White Sox, they were led by Andrew Vaughn, who had the only RBI. The other run was scored on a wild pitch or a passed ball, I would assume. And then Davis Martin got the loss. 5 innings, 7 earned runs. But the rest of the bullpen, they just cooked, I guess. They gave up 7 runs in the first few innings, and then they don't score for the rest. So at least the bullpen looked good for the White Sox. Our next game, the Minnesota Twins get a win against the Houston Astros 6-1. The Twins were led by Jose Miranda, who had a 3-run home run. Matt Wallner also had an RBI, so the other 2 runs were scored off of some others. And then Bailey Ober went 4 innings with only 1 earned run. And the bullpen, Luis Vargas, Cole Sands, Jorge Alcala, Justin Topa, and Joan Duran all went 1 inning, and nobody gave up a run. For the Astros, Jose Altuve had the 1 home run, and that's it. And then Spencer Arrighetti, he gave up 5 earned runs in 3 2/3 innings, so he got the loss. And then, again, no bullpen players so far have given up a run. 4 strikeouts for Ryan Gusto in his 3 innings of relief. Our next game, the Chicago Cubs handed the San Diego Padres their second loss, 7-1. Cubs were led by Dansby Swanson with a home run, and then Carson Kelly, who had a 3-run shot and a sac fly, I'm pretty sure, and then Kyle Tucker, who had the other RBI, as well as Nico Horner. Matthew Boyd, free agent signing this offseason, phenomenal. 6 innings, 0 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. Nate Pearson gave up a home run. No, it was not a home run. Yesterday it was Martin Maldonado. I thought today it was Martin Maldonado. My fault. He gave up 1 run, and then Brad Keller and Caleb Thielbar both gave up 0 runs in their innings of relief. The Cubs bullpen has come into its own. I feel like a lot of the new guys are trying to find their place in the bullpen, and they'll be just fine. And then Fernando Tatis Jr. had the only RBI. But Nick Pivetta, 3 innings, 3 earned runs. And then Omar Cruz, 2 2/3 and 2 earned runs. And then Alec Jacob, 1 1/3 and 2 earned runs. And then the play of the day goes to Ian Happ. He had a diving catch in left field. Phenomenal play. That's why he's won 3 gold gloves. So yeah, and then our final game before I get a review from Michael, the Washington Nationals get a win. Their second one of the year over the Arizona Diamondbacks, 4-3. The Washington Nationals were led by James Wood and Alex Call, who both had 2 RBIs. Mitchell Parker had a great outing, 6 innings, 1 earned run. But then Jorge Lopez gave up a run in his 2/3 of work, and Kyle Finnegan in the 9th gave up 1 earned run. For the Diamondbacks, they were led by Randall Grichuk, who had an RBI, Alec Thomas, and Tim Tawa, who both had RBIs. Eduardo Rodriguez, even though he gave up 4 earned runs in his 5 innings, had 12 strikeouts. And then Joe Mantiply and Bryce Jarvis both did not give up a run. So, Michael, the first 4 games, we have a Tigers win, a Twins win, a Cubs win, and a Nationals win. What do you see out of that?
Yeah, I just think the Tigers are playing better baseball right now. I mean, of course, they did start the season in LA, but now they're starting to play lower competition, and they're definitely starting to rank. But Spencer Torkelson's still been on tear. I mean, it warms up my heart. I mean, I'd love to see him succeed. And of course, Kerry Carpenter has just been a tear. 3 home runs in 2 games. Just Kerry Carpenter, just again, Just great work there for the Tigers. And of course, I know they're playing the White Sox, but it's good to see for the Tigers. And then Astros, I'm not worried about them yet. I mean, last year they were 7-19, 12-24, and yet they still won the AL West. I know they were wild card exits, but I'm not worried about them yet. I mean, it's way too early. But the Twins, they got a nice win after starting 0-4. They went 3-1 in their last four. So Twins are starting to turn it around, which is good. And then the Cubs look legit. I mean, they really do look legit. Their starting pitching the past 2 days with Matthew Boyd and Shota Imanaga has shut down Padres hitting. Only 2 runs in 2 games for the Padres compared to how many runs their first 7. So, and you said the Cubs were going to die against the Padres.
Yeah, I was not excited when I looked at that.
Yeah, but the Cubs have won a series, but I was kind of thinking that the Cubs should have a legit shot because, in Wrigley, I mean, the Windy City, I didn't think the
Yeah.
Padres bats would do as well. And then, of course, the Nationals get a big win over the Diamondbacks. I mean, that was a big win for the Nationals. They needed that. Only their second win of the year. I mean, yeah, that was huge for the Nationals. I mean, they got to get going. The offense has been struggling. Of course, C.J. Abrams, he went 0 for 4 today. And I mean, this team's going to go where C.J. Abrams is going to go, in my opinion. I know they won today, but I just think I would like to see more from C.J. Abrams moving forward.
I agree, and I think they could have one of the best outfields in the MLB in a couple of years. You have James Wood, who's a 6'6" demigod who can play the outfield great and can rake, and then you have Dylan Cruz. Is he even in the MLB right now? I'm gonna look. Yeah, he is. He went 0 for 3 today. But then you also have Alex Call, who takes up the right field spot. But I think you could, I mean, if you get rid of Josh Bell after this year, or Nate Lowe, one of those two, and you bring up Robert Hummel, the guy you got in the trade, as well as James Wood from the Padres in the Juan Soto trade, which I will stand by, the Nationals won that trade. No, they got C.J. Abrams in that trade, not Josh or James Wood. My bad. Maybe they got both. I don't even know. But Robert Hummel, he's looked pretty good in the minors. So, I mean, you just never know. I mean, these teams could build up a pretty good core really quick.
I
I'm
really
gonna
like the Nationals' young core. I really do. I mean, if it's we have a final update. The Golden Knights just defeated the Flames 3-2 in overtime, but we'll get to that after our MLB coverage.
Who scored it?
I don't know. I just saw a goal scoring animation.
Damn.
Wait, let's see. Here's the replay. Number 19 has the puck. And yeah, Smith.
Who?
Smith.
No, Jack Eichel didn't get a point. Darn. Oh well. So yeah. Anyways, I will be going over the next 5. So then, I can do 5 and then 5. So our next game, the New York Yankees get another win, 10-4. The Yankees were led by Trent Grisham. Hey, Michael, does that name sound familiar? And the Nationals? Wait. Hold on. I'm gonna start running that way now. He understands it. He had 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. And then Anthony Volpe had 3 RBIs. Goldschmidt had 1. And Austin Wells had 2. Marcus Stroman, 4 earned runs in 4 innings. Looked kind of rough, but the bullpen. This bullpen for the Yankees is great, and they're on a budget, too. Tim Hill and Fernando Cruz, Ryan Yarbrough. All these guys, Mark Leiter, are not very sought-after guys. Mark Leiter more than the rest of them. Tim Hill just throws funny. Fernando Cruz throws 100 miles an hour. And Ryan Yarbrough is just, 5 strikeouts in 2 innings to close out the game. That's great, especially since he's played in the NL Central already. No, he hasn't. Has he? Was he a Brewer?
Who's this?
Ryan Yarbrough. I know he was on the Rays. No, he was on the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. Never mind. He was not in the NL Central. That's my bad. He was already in the AL East. Yeah, so. Yeah, and then for the Pirates, they were led by Key Brian Hayes with an RBI, Emmanuel Valdez with 2 RBIs, and Endy Rodriguez with an RBI. Bailey Falter had 7 earned runs in 4 innings. Ryan Barucki, Dennis Santana, and Colin Holderman all gave up an earned run in their innings of relief. So, yeah. The loss definitely went to that guy, considering he up 7 runs, and the Pirates didn't score 7 runs. The Dodgers get their 9th win of the year, one away from double digits. 3-1 over the Philadelphia Phillies. Michael Conforto had a home run, and Enrique Hernandez had a home run. Roki Sasaki, 4 innings, 1 earned run, 3 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Still looking a little bit rough. But yeah, the bullpen did phenomenal. No runs. And then for the Phillies, they were led by Alec Boehm, who had an RBI. Aaron Nola gave up 3 runs in 6 innings. And Joe Ross and Tanner Banks did not give up a hit in their 3 innings of relief.
Joe Ross.
Oh, yeah. What? Oh, Joe Ross? Yeah.
We're a legend.
Yeah. Our next game, the Orioles dominate the Kansas City Royals, who are off to a rough start. 8-1. The Orioles were led by Gary Sanchez, Tyler O'Neill, and Jackson Holliday, who all had 2 RBIs. And Heston Kjerstad and Ramon Urias both had an RBI. Jackson Holliday had 3 hits today, leading the Orioles. Tomoyuki Sugano had 5 1/3 of 1-run ball. And in the bullpen, 0 hits in, 3 2/3 innings. So very good for the Orioles bullpen. Their starting rotation was a question. They got a good start from the new guy here. And then for the Royals, they were led by Bobby Witt, who had a solo shot. Michael Wacha struggled, 5 2/3, 4 earned runs. And then Sam Long and Chris Stratton both had 2 earned runs in their 2 1/3 innings of work combined. Dylan Lynch won an inning. He was the only one on the Royals to not give up a run. And then the Rays got a loss on the road to the Texas Rangers, who were off to a great start, like I said they would. 6-4, the Rangers got the win. They were led by Marcus Semien, Wyatt Langford, and Jake Berger, who all had home runs. Jake Berger had 3 RBIs, Wyatt Langford had 2, and Marcus Semien had 1. Jacob deGrom went 5 2/3 with 4 earned runs. And the bullpen, a lot of just good bullpens today. Bullpen shut them down. But then Brandon Lau, Jonathan Aranda, both had home runs. Aranda with 2 RBIs. And then Curtis Mead, who is a prospect they brought up, he had an RBI. Taj Bradley went 5 innings of 4-run ball. But then Mason Montgomery in the 7th gave up 2 runs, which eventually led to the Texas Rangers win. So yeah, our next game, before we go over a little bit of a discussion, the New York Mets get a win 3-2 over the Toronto Blue Jays. The Mets were led by Jesse Winker with 2 RBIs and Francisco Lindor with 1. Griffin Canning, 4 innings, 1-run ball, 6 strikeouts. That's pretty good. Jose Butto had 1 earned run and 1 2/3. And Huascar Brazaban, former Marlin, he's like 35 and he just got signed. Went 2 1/3 of no-run ball, and Edwin Diaz got the save. For the Blue Jays, they were led by Bo Bichette and Vladimir Guerrero, who both had RBIs. And Chris Bassett had 6 2/3 of innings of work and 9 strikeouts. But Brendan Little struggled in his 2/3 of an inning, former Cub. He had 2 earned runs. And then Nick Sandlin lost the game with an earned run in the... Oh, it was a walk-off. I assume... Yeah, so it had to have been a walk-off by Francisco Lindor. So yeah, Michael, so we had a big win for the Yankees. Dodgers are 1 away from their double-digit wins. They would be the best team in the league, obviously. Orioles get a win over the Royals, 8-1. Rangers win, and then Mets get a walk-off. So, you got anything on those games?
Yeah, it just proves that the Dodgers are by far the best team in the league. I mean, 9-1. I mean, I know the Rays, like a couple of years ago, they started off 12-0, but yeah, this Dodgers team just looks legit.
What are you talking about? The Dodgers beat the Phillies 3-1.
Yeah. Or no, like their record's 9-1.
Yeah, they play the Oh, my bad, cuh.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about, like, what? But then you mentioned the Rays, I'm like, bro, what are you talking about?
The Rays a couple years ago, how they started 12-0. Or 13-0.
Ended up missing the playoffs?
No, they made the playoffs. They just were the 4 seed and they got bounced in the wild card.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But anyways, the Dodgers, this team they're legit. I mean, they got offense, they got pitching, they got defense, they got whatever. I mean, unfair about what the Dodgers are doing over there. And then the Yankees, of course, I don't know if they're still using the torpedo bats, but they're raking. This is one of the best offenses with torpedo bats or without torpedo bats. Or I don't know, maybe this is a big conspiracy and the torpedo bats are doing everything. I don't know, but anyways, and then the Orioles, of course, that was a good win today over the Royals. I mean, one thing I have question marks about is that Gunnar Henderson, he's been struggling recently. I think he went 1 for 4 yesterday, and today he went 0 for 4. So
He
having a
was
little.
injured
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
because he was
But
playing in the minor leagues for their Double A or Triple A affiliate. So yeah,
so he's just come back from an injury. So I
yeah.
mean, Gunnar Henderson, I guess, is then just getting back in the swing of things. So don't panic if you're Orioles fans. But, he's just getting back to the swing of things, just trying to find the swing back. And then the Royals, I mean, they just had a tough schedule. I mean, they're 3-5 right now because the Guardians, Brewers, and Orioles is definitely a tough stretch to start off the season. And the Rangers, they're at 7-2. I mean, they look legit. I mean, that pitching, that offense, I mean, of course, they even got some young players like Wyatt Langford, Evan Carter. Like this, I could see the Rangers making making the playoffs again and making the deep playoff runs. And, yeah, definitely. And then the Mets. I mean, the Mets, they're starting to win games now. They're previously 1-3, 2-3, something like that, and they're on a 3 or 4 game winning streak. So yeah, good to see the Mets winning the games again. And the Blue Jays, tomorrow's a must-need win. I like must-need wins this early when the Blue Jays are 5-4, but you don't want to drop games. You don't want to get swept early on this year. So then, when you're so you can make the decision at what you're going to do at the trade deadline easier than what it needs to be.
I agree. But yeah, let's move on to the final 5 games. The Cincinnati Reds game went on the road, 11-7 over the Milwaukee Brewers. The Reds were led by T.J. Friedel, Christian Encarnacion Strand, Blake Dunn, and Jose Trevino with home runs. Trevino had 2 RBIs, Blake Dunn with 1, Encarnacion Strand with 1, Heimer Candelario with 1, and then T.J. Friedel, Santiago Espinal, and Ellie De La Cruz all had 2. Brady Singer went 5 innings of 3-run ball. And then Scott Barlow had 2 earned runs in his 2/3 of an inning. But then Emilio Pagan got the save. The Brewers were led by Oliver Dunn, who had 3 RBIs. Sal Frelick and Christian Yelich contributed the other 2 RBIs. Elvin Rodriguez, a guy I am not familiar with, gave up 7 runs in 5 innings. And then Connor Thomas gave up 4 in 3 1/3. So, Michael, does this concern you? The Reds, who, hold on, let's go to the Reds' schedule. In their previous games, they scored 2, 0, 0, 0, and then 14 before that. They got shut out 3 games in a row. And yes, you beat them 3-2 yesterday, but then they put 11 runs on you this game. Does that concern you at all?
I don't think this doesn't really concern me that much. Elvin Rodriguez, I don't think he's ready to be a starter yet. I mean, if we just get more starting pitching depth, we'll be fine. But my question is this. Why did Connor Thomas pitch 3 1/3 innings? Why? He allowed 4 runs. His first inning of work, he allowed 3 runs. Why? Why did he pitch for 3 innings? Like, that is something I don't understand. And plus, we were down 7-5, we were down 7-5 in a close game, and you put Connor Thomas out there for another inning. Like, why? Like, why? Like, I don't know. I just feel like when you left Connor Thomas out there, it's like a forfeit. Even though, we're generally, right in this game. Like, I don't get it, dude. I mean, I get it. Connor Thomas is a rookie, but I just don't think he's major league ready yet. I mean, maybe they just did this because maybe they're ready to send him down again. I don't know, but yeah, it's not looking good for Connor Thomas. And honestly, Elvin Rodriguez, it's not looking good for him either. Like when we're starting to get starting pitching back, it looks like he's probably going to get sent down too. He just had 2 rough starts. I mean, I don't know if they're both these guys are just ready for major league yet, but I think the Brewers are fine. It's just that the pitching today was not good, Rodriguez and Thomas. I just don't think they're major league ready. But I mean, I did see that the bats finally got going, which they put up 7 runs. I'm happy about that. But Yelich and Contreras, like those are 2 guys that have got to get going. Hoskins has got to get going too. I mean, there's some guys that still have yet to get going, but I mean, this is a good start offensively. It's just the pitching was not good.
Yeah, and just so you know, Christian Yelich is washed. Anyways, the Miami Marlins, who are 5-4 by the way, 4-0 win over the Atlanta Braves. The Marlins were led by Matt Mervis, former Cub who got traded for Vidal Brujan, had a 2-run home run and an RBI, so 3 RBIs in total, and Liam Hicks had 1 RBI. So I'm gonna name off all these people, and you're gonna tell me how many people you actually know from this team. Xavier Edwards, Kyle
Yeah.
Stowers. I will name them all, and then you can tell me who you know.
Okay.
Xavier Edwards, Kyle Stowers, Otto Lopez, Matt Mervis, Eric Wagaman, Griffin Conine, Derek Hill, Graham Pauley, and Liam Hicks.
3.
Let me
Xavier
hold on.
Edwards.
I'll guess who you no. Xavier Edwards, Kyle Stowers, and Matt Mervis.
No, you got Xavier Edwards and Matt Mervis, right?
So you know Otto
Not
Lopez?
yes.
Kyle Stowers is a prospect that came over in the Trevor Rogers trade last year with the Orioles. Eric Wagaman is a minor leaguer. Griffin Conine is the son of an MLB player. I know that. Derek Hill played for the Braves last year, I'm pretty sure. No, the Rangers last year, and he played for the Tigers for a little bit. Graham Pauley, no idea where this guy came from. He could have been a minor leaguer. He could have been signed out of the Dominican Republic. And Liam Hicks, no idea who that is. Cal Quantrill went 5 innings of no-run ball. I know him. He played for the Rockies last year, so when you play good in Coors, you know you're going to get yourself a bag, and nobody gives you a bag, and you get signed by the Marlins. So good for him. Anthony Bender got a save. I know him as well. And Calvin Falker. Yep, that's my favorite name in MLB. And then for the Braves, Drake Baldwin had 2 hits. They got shut out. AJ Smith-Shawver went 4 2/3 with 3 earned runs, and Jose Suarez gave up an earned run in his 3 1/3, and then Enyel De Los Santos, former top prospect, gave up 0 in his inning. Next game, the Athletics stay on the winning side of things over the Colorado Rockies, 7-4. Athletics were led by Brent Rooker and Shea Langoliers with a home run each, and then Jacob Wilson had 2 RBIs, Tyler Soderstrom had an RBI, and then J.P. Sears is like the most mid pitcher, but he's also good at the same time. 6 1/3 with 3 earned runs, and then Tyler Ferguson an inning and 1 earned run. For the Rockies, they were led by Ryan McMahon, who had a solo home run, and Sean Bouchard, who had a home run and 2 RBIs. So that means the other 2 runs they scored were either unearned or some other stuff. And then Herman Marquez returning. He had 5 innings, 3 earned runs, but then Scott Alexander blew the game wide open, 2/3 of an inning, 3 earned runs. So yeah, it's just the Rockies' struggles at this point. That's all you can really say. And then the San Francisco Giants got a win over the Seattle Mariners, 4-1. Giants stay at 7-1. The Giants were led by Matt Chapman, who had 2 RBIs, and then Mike Yastrzemski and Wilmer Flores both had RBIs. Robbie Ray, 6 innings of 1-run ball. And then Hayden Birdsong and Ryan Walker both pitched scoreless outings. For the Rangers, Mariners, they were led by Dylan Moore, who I'm pretty sure in his first 9 games has more home runs than he has the last 3 years. I know he's had 2 now. He had a solo home run, but Bryce Miller, boy, 5 1/3, 4 earned runs. But then the bullpen, like, it's just like you only give up 4 runs, but obviously 4 runs isn't a good outing. And then you just can only score 1. That's why the Mariners aren't going to be good. And then our final game of the night, the Los Angeles Angels get a big win over the Cleveland Guardians, 10-4. 4 different players had home runs. Luis Rengifo, I completely forgot about him. He's part of their young core. Mike Trout, Jorge Soler, and Logan O'Hoppe all had 2 home runs. Luis Rengifo, his home run was a solo shot. Man, Taylor Ward had an RBI, and Tim Anderson, 2 RBIs. Look at him. Jack Kochanowicz had 5 innings of 2-run ball, and Ian Anderson went 2 innings of 1 earned run. Then for the Guardians, they were led by Carlos Santana, who had a home run and 2 RBIs. Bo Naylor had a home run and an RBI. And newly acquired Nolan Jones, who also played for the Guardians before he went to the Rockies, had an RBI. Tanner Bibby struggled, man. 7 earned runs in 4 innings. And then Tristan McKenzie, in relief, gave up 3 earned runs in 1 2/3. He used to be a starter. And then Joey Cantillo had 2 1/3 innings of scoreless baseball. So, Michael, for the Reds beating the Brewers, Marlins getting a shutout, Athletics staying on their winning side in Coors, Giants keeping their great record going, and the Angels, who are surprisingly winning. What do you got from that?
I already said my opinion about the Brewers. Like I said, it's just the pitching. But anyways, Braves. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna go on with you. I mean, the Braves just. I mean, their offense has just been silent this year, and I just don't see this team as a playoff team. I mean, I know they're 1-8, but I know the injuries. But there's a lot of guys that are just injured, like long out for quite a bit. And by the time they do get them back, I just have a feeling it's gonna be too late. Yeah, they could get hot and anything like that, but I don't know. It's just that hitting core is just decimated with injuries. This whole team has continued to be full of injuries from last year, so I don't know if this is gonna be a year for the Braves to do something. But my thing about the Braves is that just get healthy as soon as possible. Like, that's the thing if you want to try to save this so far. 1-8 is just a brutal start. But the Athletics, they got something interesting going on in Sacramento, I guess. Not Oakland, sadly, but or in athletic land. But anyways, the Athletics, they look good. I mean, I know they played the Rockies today, but I mean, 4-5, pretty solid so far. And then the Giants, they continue the hot ways, 7-1. Of course, you said something about the Mariners. I mean, the Mariners have no offense at all. They're just all pitching and again, only scoring 1 run. I mean, that's just normal. And then the Angels. Yeah, I agree. The Angels look really good right now. I mean, young core is starting to come together. I mean, this Angels team definitely maybe set themselves up for this year and then do some damage next year. Or heck, why not do something this year? I mean, this Angels team looks very promising. And then, of course, for the Cardinals and Red Sox, rain, seriously. Doubleheader tomorrow.
Yeah. Is that all you got?
That's pretty much, yep.
All right. Oh, Michael, honestly, I've been doing really good on my parlays recently. I've made quite a bit of money back, so I'm going to go over some of my favorite picks. I've been just looking over them for the last couple of minutes. Oh, there we go. Now more games loaded in. So yeah. My first favorite pick, for some reason, they still have Josh Giddey getting a double-double on here. So I'm definitely going Josh Giddey for a double-double. Considering the game I just went to, he had a triple-double. So might as well go for the easy one and say, oh yeah, he'll get a double-double. Just looking here. Has Austin Reeves, how many points did he have? Yeah. So I'm going to go Austin Reeves for over 19.5 points. Luka has been struggling lately. Okay, yes, he had 35 points last game. That was on horrible efficiency. And LeBron really, I mean, again, those 3 are their main scores. They're all going to score 20 plus points. I think Austin Reeves has 19 points in him. Also, Yeah, I don't know for that. Next game, Washington and Boston. Let's see. It all depends on if they're going to play their starters or not. Because, like, Jordan Poole went from dropping 12 in 20 minutes to 35 in 29 minutes. So I don't know there. But Bub Carrington, his PRA might be it. He has hit this line in 4 of his last 5. So I'm going to take... Do they have a lower? They do. They have a 20. So I'm going to do that. There we go. I like Bub Carrington's PRA line, 22.5. So his last 3 games, he had, if it'll stay on my screen, he had 32, 9, and 7, 19, 2, and 7, 8, 8, and 9, 10, 3, and 2 in the Brooklyn game where he only played 21 minutes. And then against Indiana, he had 13, 6, and 4. So that's 23. So that would be exactly his line. And then A.J. Johnson, he really hasn't been playing as good a basketball as I'd hope he has been. So you can be happy for a little bit, Michael. But yeah, next game, San Antonio. Denny Avdia's line is getting raised so high. I don't know. So I would probably take his 7.5 rebounds, or his 9.5 rebounds. But, I mean, he's had 11, 15, and 15 in his last 3 games. But he is questionable, so I would probably stay away from that. But Anthony Simons is he is questionable as well, so I don't know about that. Indiana, Jokic for 9.5 assists. He's probably pissed off because he didn't have his triple-double against the Warriors, so I would probably say go over that for him. But, yeah. Who else is here? Nobody that really intrigues me. I mean, maybe you go Christian Brown for over 5.5 rebounds. He's had 7 against the Warriors, 12 against the Timberwolves, and then he only played 27 minutes against Utah because it was a blowout. He had 4. And then against Milwaukee, he had 10. So I kind of like the Christian Brown, whatever, for over 5.5 rebounds. And then the final game of the day, at least that's marked on Underdog, the Warriors and the Houston Rockets, Alperen Şengün for over 8.5 rebounds. Don't mind if I do. Against a poorly rebounding Warriors team, don't mind if I do. Brandon Podziemski for 15 points. He's had 26, 28, and then 8, and then 27, and then 10. He has been playing phenomenal. I would take his line at 15. So yeah, NHL. Oh, well, it only says there's one for NHL. There's one pick the entire way. It's Alex Ovechkin over 3.5 shots or under. So I can't even give you guys NHL picks because I've actually been doing pretty good. But also the MLB. There's a lot of games tomorrow. I can't give you guys accurate MLB picks. If Paul Skeens pitches, over his strikeouts. That's all I can say. That's all I can really be confident in because he's so good. But yeah, those are my picks. I mean, also you could go Vucevic over 9.5 rebounds. I mean, he's had 12, 10, 8, 9, and 8. And in 2 of those games, he didn't even play 30 minutes. But yeah. Also, Miles Bridges. Oof, he has really not been rebounding, and I feel like he won't. Will he keep that up against the Bulls? I don't know. I mean, Matas Buzelis for over 6.5 rebounds. That looks like a good line because you saw that yesterday. Yesterday technically, or 2 days ago, how he played. Kevin Huerter's been struggling. What's his rebounds line? 3.5. Damn. I don't know. Mark Williams over 10.5 rebounds as well. He's questionable versus Chicago, but in his last 3 games he's played, he's had 12, 13, and 12, which is both 1 more or 2 more over his line. Plus, they'll probably be coming out with an alternate line. Kobe White, you have to just go over his PRA because I'm going to do that right now. He's just been playing absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, other than that, I mean, you could go Zaire Williams over 11 points, or 12, excuse me. I mean, he really hasn't been playing that good either, so I don't know. There's a lot of guys out there that have been like, you want to bet on them, but then they just don't play, and then your money gets taken away anyways, and it's just like, what's the word for it, where people just sit out because, like, they're tired?
Opting out.
No,
Rest
I
break.
don't know. People get what I'm saying. But, anyways, those are what I got. So take that into consideration. What?
Sideline?
No, Michael. They're sidelined, but
Oh, yeah.
I'll figure out the phrase. I'll say it tomorrow. So yeah, Michael, do you have anything else?
Yeah, I just want to go over quickly for the Golden Knights game. So yeah, the Golden Knights defeated the Flames, thankfully, since the Flames are right on our tails for the wild card hunt. So the Golden Knights win 3-2. So Riley Smith had the game-winning goal for the Golden Knights, and then also scoring for the Golden Knights was Pavel Dorofeyev, and then Riley Smith, he had 2 goals as well as the game winner tonight. And then the assisting was Shea Theodore. He had 3 assists tonight. Brandon Saad and Victor Olofsson, Brett Howden all assisted for the Golden Knights. Akira Schmid had a pretty good night tonight, 21 saves out of 23 save attempts, allowing 2 goals with a .913 save percentage. And then for the Flames, scoring goals was Matt Coronado and Joel Hanley, and assisting was Michael Blacklund, Blake Coleman, Nazim Kadri, and that's pretty much it for the assisting category for the Flames. Dustin Wolf had an alright game, 31 saves out of 34 save attempts, allowing 3 goals with a .912 save percentage. So yeah, the Golden Knights do defeat the Flames 3-2 in overtime. So that's all I got. So that's going to do it for tonight's episode. A little bit longer one tonight, but hope you guys enjoyed. And just a couple quick updates. So tonight, turns out we did not have a guest tonight. Sorry about my sayings that. So that guest that I had planned for today will be coming on Monday. So yeah, a little postponement there. So we have a guest Monday, but tomorrow for sure will be I shouldn't say for sure, but will most likely be our first episode where we're going to have some guests. We're going to have 2 guests on the show. They're both tennis players and they'll be my future roommates for next year. So I'm excited. They definitely know some ball, especially they're big time NBA. Yeah, they're NBA guys. One's a Lakers fans. One is a, Bulls fan. Yeah, one's a Bulls fan, I think, as well. So
Never mind. I was gonna hate on them playing tennis. Never mind. It's over.
yeah, but they get
Dude,
into NBA.
that just reminds me when we played tennis at the tennis court. We were in like 5th grade, bro, and we did like the whole like U.S. Open or whatever.
Yeah.
We played like 40 games of tennis. Oh man,
Yeah,
those are the
I remember.
days, though.
Yeah, you beat me in four sets. So
Yup.
yeah, that was awesome. The Riverdale Open, the 2017 Riverdale Open.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, so very looking forward to that episode tomorrow. So again, we're gonna have some tennis guys talking sports. Probably not record this episode in my room. Probably go in the lounge because again, 2 people on the hurry
That's gonna
thing
be
here.
so loud then.
It might be. Oh yeah, the lounge is kind of loud, but. Anyways, so again, thank you so much for watching this episode today. I'm Michael Hearn alongside Andre Tainter with the mascot Diddy. So yeah, thank you so much.
W.
Yes. So thank you so much for joining this podcast, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Peace out.
I was trying to act like I was frozen.
Oh.